guys, so today I wanted to talk about my modelling and how I got into it and all that sort of stuff. Eventually I'm hoping to make a series of videos like this, but I figured I'd start off by talking about how I got started. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to split this into two videos. This video will be talking about my personal story of how I got into modelling, and then I'll also have another video just giving practical tips and how-tos on how to get started. I think that's easiest. Purely so that people that only want the tips don't get bored by my personal story. I'd been wanting to do videos like this for a while, but until recently I was kind of apprehensive because until literally maybe a month or two ago, modelling was only something I did for fun. I'd only done a couple of paid shoots and I didn't really feel like I was the person to be giving advice. But now everything's changed and modelling is actually how I make my money. I still don't feel like I'm fully qualified to talk about this, but I figure I'll never feel fully qualified, and considering I've already been doing this for 2 years, I might as well just start making videos. So I first want to make a shout out to Dystopia Chaotica for commenting and actually saying that she really wants to see these videos. I'd had other people in the past say that, but she was the one that actually spurred me on to make these videos, so thanks to you. So yeah, I guess I'll just start by talking about how I personally got into modelling, and maybe you can learn some things or you'll find it interesting. So as I said before, I've been modelling for 2 years, just over 2 years. It wasn't something I ever thought I would end up doing. I started when I was 18, and when I was going through puberty I didn't really think that it was going to be the thing for me. I didn't think I was good enough and all those sort of assorted teenage angst and woe and self-confidence problems. But all that changed when I found out that as part of my graded unit for my music course I'd need to have some pictures of me. The graded unit is basically like the big end of year thing that you're pretty much solely assessed on. And my thing was to make an EP of a bunch of songs, and to do that I'd need professional pictures of me and that sort of stuff. Well, it wasn't necessary, but it was optional. I felt like I should do that because I wanted a really good grade. So I contacted someone who was a friend of a friend that did photography, and he said he'd do it, and so we went on location and we went and did a shoot. I'll just post some pictures of that first shoot right here. I loved how the shoot went, and I sort of fell in love with modelling. I got told that I was pretty good at it, and I figured, let's see where this goes, let's see how many more modelling opportunities there are for me. So after that I went to Whitby Goth weekend. I was chilling out, and some photographers came up to me and wanted my picture, and I was like blown away because they just came up to me and started talking to me, and I was like, wow. Like, I figured I'd have to like ask people or maybe pay for photographs, or at least only do it on like a trade for basis, but these people actually came up to me and they were like, can we have a couple of pictures, and I obliged, and here's that picture that I got back there. So that was a massive, massive confidence boost. And then after that I decided I would apply for some modelling websites just to see if I could get more places. So I applied to some of the UK based ones, Pure Storm and Purpleport. Purpleport is the only one I use now, that's like my main one. And it wasn't long before I was getting modelling opportunities. For about a year and a quarter they were all trade for, which means I didn't get paid, the photographer didn't get paid, we just collaborated and made a bunch of images, and sometimes those are the best. It depends, sometimes it's just a lot of fun. So I wasn't getting paid, but I was having a really good time, and over the space of that year and a bit it kind of went from having a shoot every maybe month and a half to like every month. It was really exciting. And that went on for a while, and eventually I got my first paid shoot, and it was really, really exciting because I was like, look, I stood in front of a camera and people took photos of me and they gave me money. And I was like, wow, this could be the start of something. It was also around that time that a couple of the modelling-y Facebook pages, like the Gothic share pages, started sharing a couple of my images. and that was like a big confidence boost, and it was really, really awesome to see that some of my pictures that were being shared were getting like hundreds of likes, and I was like, wow. I was getting all these new likes to my page, and like, wow, just, it was really, really awesome. So it stayed like that for a while, and then I did what is possibly the best thing I've ever done for my modelling career, which was dye my hair from blonde to blue. Pretty much 2 days after I first dyed it to light blue, I was contacted by a photographer that I'd known about for ages. She'd worked with some models that I knew locally, and her work is amazing, and I'll leave her link to her page down below because, like, wow. She contacted me and she was wanting to do an Ice Queen shoot, and she said that my blue hair was perfect, and she asked if I could do it before she put up a formal casting looking for other people, and I said yeah. So I went over to her house, and it was all on a TF basis, but she'd made the costume and the beautiful crown and stuff. I'll put some of the images up here right now. And it was so much fun. There was a makeup artist, and after that shoot she told me that there was a very high chance of publication, and she submitted it, and it was actually published. It was published in issue 19 of Gothesque magazine. So that officially made me a published model, and I was so excited, and pretty much as soon as that happened I got so many more requests. I did a couple more things in December, and then January was like a complete nothing month. I did nothing for the whole of January this year, but then last month I had like 4 or 5 shoots, and consistently since then I've had at least 1 shoot a week, and it's just amazing. About half of them are paid now. So that's officially how I make money, and how I'm continuing to make money, hopefully into the future. So everything's turned out alright for me just now. I'm hoping to get some more stuff published. I've had a lot of interest, but when I was just starting out, and like in the first year or so, it was quite disheartening because I was not doing many shoots, and a lot of them were with photographers that perhaps weren't as skilled, and I wasn't as skilled either. It's not all the photographer's fault because it is a learning curve. But a lot of the images we produced together were not of a quality that could do anything for me. But I feel like I learned from those shoots, and it was kind of disheartening to get the pictures back and see that they were all useless, but it was still a lot of fun. So in just over 2 years I've not really had any bad experiences. I did work with one photographer who I found out later had a really bad reputation, and that kind of made me really put off working with him again. It was so bad that pretty much every second photographer that I work with questions me about how my experience was with him. Like, his reputation is that bad. And I'm never going to work with him again, I don't think. I'm just not comfortable with that, but I've never had anything worse than that. He never did anything to me. He was just a bit and I found out later all these things. I won't go into too much detail just now because I don't want this video to be like super long, but as far as my parents were concerned, I hid the fact that I was modelling from them for ages, which probably isn't a good idea, but it's what a lot of people do, especially when they're, you know, just 18 and still living with their parents, and, you know, you don't want them to know everything you do because you're worried they might not approve, or you were worried that they'd be super protective and stuff, which is perfectly understandable because a lot of what I do is going to secluded areas with strange men that I've never met, and wearing ridiculous outfits, climbing like fences and stuff, so like yeah, they would be worried. But yeah, since I got published though, they've become super supportive, and they're like always there for me, and that's really awesome. Again, not going into too much detail, my boyfriend's completely fine with it, and a lot of my friends, because I don't actually hang out with a lot of my friends from like my previous courses and especially high school, when I met up with one of my friends, she didn't realise that how serious it was until I got published, and she sort of just thought I was paying for shoots. But now that I've been published, people are kind of like, whoa, I'm actually, you know, doing something for real. I'm not just like playing at being a model. And I think that distinction is really important to me. I don't want people to think that I'm just doing it for thinking that I'm the most attractive person in the world. Like, oh my god, I do photo shoots, I'm so beautiful. Because I'm not, because look, I live with myself. I'm like, ugh, I'm so disgusting some days. And I think everyone's like that. But I guess this is kind of being a bit rambly, and I just wanted to make this kind of a vlog. All the more pertinent information and like more how-to information will be in the other video. So I just wanted to tell you my story and see if maybe it inspires you in some way to maybe take it up, or maybe see how I started and be like, wow, I could do that too, because you really can, especially with alternative modelling. As far as alternative modelling is concerned, it doesn't matter what size or shape or what you look like or anything like that, race, it doesn't matter, you can do it, it's totally awesome. But yeah, so I guess this is the end of my vlog video, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye bye.